Did you know that a single bite of fish, yes, the healthy fish your doctor recommends, could quietly be raising your stroke risk without you even realizing it? What I'm about to reveal will shock you to your core. Imagine sitting down to your favorite seafood dinner, thinking you're doing something wonderful for your heart and brain, only to discover that certain fish are actually working against you like silent assassins. Terrifying, isn't it? Now I know exactly what you're thinking. But doctor, fish is healthy. It's packed with omega-3s, great for my brain, light on calories. But what if I told you that's only half the story, and the half you don't know could be deadly? Especially for those of us over 60, our bodies don't process toxins the same way they used to. Some types of fish, depending on how they're processed, prepared, or even which species they are, can quietly damage your blood vessels, skyrocket your blood pressure, and dramatically increase your stroke risk. I'm Dr. James Whitaker, and in my 25 years, I've seen too many patients suffer strokes that could have been prevented if they'd known what I'm about to share with you today. This video isn't just about fish, it's about the hidden stroke triggers that may be sitting right on your dinner plate tonight. I'm going to walk you through 8 specific types of fish that could be silently destroying your cardiovascular system, especially if you're over 60 and watching your heart health. If you're curious, concerned, or just want to make sure you're protecting yourself and your family, you need to watch every single minute. What you discover might save your life. Drop a 1 in the comments if you're still eating fish regularly, or a 0 if you've already started cutting back. And smash that subscribe button because the information I share on this channel has already saved thousands of lives. Let's dive into the first stroke-triggering fish that sounds fancy and healthy, but is actually a cardiovascular time bomb. Fish number 1, smoked salmon, the sodium bomb, disguised as health food. It looks elegant on your bagel, tastes rich and flavorful, and everyone praises it as heart-friendly. But here's the shocking truth that could save your life. Smoked salmon is loaded with enough sodium to trigger a stroke. I'm talking about over 600 milligrams of sodium in just 2 ounces. That's already 1/3 of your entire daily sodium limit, gone in just a few bites. For someone over 60 with already vulnerable blood vessels, this is like lighting a fuse. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 67-year-old patient who came to my office after suffering a minor stroke. She was confused because she ate healthy, including smoked salmon on whole grain toast 3 times a week. What Margaret didn't realize was that each serving was flooding her system with stroke-triggering sodium. Here's the deadly mechanism. High sodium intake forces your body to retain water, dramatically increasing blood volume in your arteries. This skyrockets blood pressure, puts enormous strain on vessel walls, and creates the perfect conditions for a rupture or clot, the 2 main causes of stroke. A groundbreaking study from the American Heart Association found that even modest sodium reductions could lower stroke risk by up to 35% in adults over 60. This isn't theory, it's hard science backed by thousands of lives saved. But here's what's truly terrifying. When you pair that salty salmon with cream cheese on a bagel, you're creating a sodium tsunami that can overload your cardiovascular system in minutes. The life-saving alternative. If you love salmon, choose fresh baked or grilled versions without the heavy salting. Season with herbs, lemon juice, and olive oil. You get all the omega-3 benefits without the stroke-triggering sodium bomb. Fish number 2, pickled herring, the traditional killer hiding in plain sight. This one might remind you of family traditions or holiday celebrations, but don't let nostalgia fool you. Pickled herring is one of the deadliest fish for stroke risk, packing over 700 milligrams of sodium in just 2 ounces. The pickling process doesn't just add flavor, it uses massive amounts of salt as a preservative. And here's the insidious part. Many older adults enjoy these dishes as comforting routines, not realizing they're slowly poisoning their cardiovascular system. The hidden danger. This salt builds up day after day, gradually pushing blood pressure higher and higher, increasing arterial strain until something catastrophic happens. Researchers from the Journal of Clinical Hypertension found that people who regularly consume pickled or heavily salted foods were 340% more likely to suffer hypertension and cardiovascular events. These aren't rare outcomes. They're epidemic among older adults. Fish. Number 3, fried mackerel. When healthy fish becomes a cardiovascular weapon. It's golden, crispy, and comforting. Maybe something you've enjoyed at family gatherings or weekend diners. But the moment any fish gets breaded and dropped into hot oil, it transforms from health food into a stroke trigger. Here's the scientific truth. Frying, especially deep frying, introduces trans fats and oxidized oils that are notorious for attacking your blood vessel walls. These damaged fats encourage plaque buildup, narrow your arteries, and make blood clots more likely to form. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who regularly consume fried fish had a 37% higher stroke risk compared to those who ate it rarely. That's not a small number when we're talking about something that could be on your plate weekly. The artery clogging truth. The breading soaks up oil like a sponge, and most restaurants reuse that oil repeatedly, creating toxic compounds that travel straight to your cardiovascular system. Fish number 4, swordfish, the mercury time bomb. Thick, meaty, and often served at upscale restaurants, swordfish seems like a premium, healthy choice, but hidden inside this elegant fish is a toxin that could be silently destroying your brain and blood vessels: mercury. Swordfish contains dangerously high levels of mercury, so high that both the FDA and EPA advise older adults to limit or avoid it entirely. But here's what makes this terrifying. Mercury builds up in your body over time and doesn't disappear after one meal. The devastating mechanism. Mercury damages your nervous system and blood vessels, leading to increased oxidative stress. For those over 60 with already sensitive blood vessels, this is adding gasoline to a fire that could lead to stroke or cognitive decline. A study in the Journal of Environmental Health found that higher mercury levels in older adults were directly linked to poorer vascular function and higher stroke incidence. Most people never connect the dots between their healthy swordfish dinner and their declining brain function. Fish in the number 5, fried cod, the fish and chips death trap. Often wrapped in newspaper and paired with fries, this classic comfort food is actually a cardiovascular landmine, especially for older adults. While cod itself is healthy when steamed or baked, deep frying transforms it into a stroke trigger. The real killer is the oil. Most places serving fish and chips use oil that's been reheated and reused repeatedly. This oil breaks down and forms harmful compounds called free radicals that attack your blood vessel walls, inflame them, and accelerate plaque buildup. A study from the British Medical Journal found that people consuming fried fish more than once weekly had significantly higher levels of arterial plaque, the material that blocks arteries and causes strokes. Fish Ormerschatzks, anchovies, the tiny salt bombs. These little fish might seem harmless because they're small, but they pack a massive sodium punch that could trigger a stroke. Just 5 anchovy fillets contain over 700 milligrams of sodium, nearly half of what older adults should consume in an entire day. The real danger is how they hide in your food. They're mashed into Caesar dressing, blended into pasta sauces, or tucked into gourmet dishes where you'd never expect them. The silent killer mechanism. Each hidden anchovy adds sodium that forces your body to retain water, increasing blood volume and pressure in your arteries until something gives way. Fish. 7. Chilean Sea Bass. The elegant toxin. It sounds sophisticated and expensive, and it's often found on high-end menus. But certain types of sea bass, particularly Chilean varieties, contain dangerously high mercury levels that could be quietly raising your stroke risk. The problem is worse because people see sea bass as a premium, healthy choice. Behind that elegant reputation lies a toxin that causes inflammation, oxidative stress, and arterial stiffening. All major stroke. Precursors. Fish, number 8, fried haddock, the common culprit. A close cousin to cod and just as popular in fish and chips, haddock becomes dangerous when deep-fried in repeatedly used oil. This oil becomes chemically unstable, forming toxic compounds that damage your arterial walls and promote plaque formation. A 2020 study in the Journal of the American Heart Association found that regular fried food consumption was associated with significantly higher stroke risk, particularly in adults over 65. Now that you know these 8 stroke-triggering fish, here's exactly what to do. Immediately stop eating smoked, pickled, or fried fish of any kind. Replace with fresh, baked, grilled, or steamed fish seasoned with herbs and lemon. Choose low-mercury options. Wild-caught salmon, rainbow trout, sardines, flounder. Read labels carefully. Check sodium content and preparation methods. Ask restaurants how fish is prepared and what oil they use. Remember Margaret with her smoked salmon habit. Once she eliminated high-sodium fish and switched to fresh preparations, her blood pressure dropped 40 points in 8 weeks. Her stroke risk plummeted, and today she enjoys fish safely while protecting her cardiovascular system. Your stroke prevention starts tonight. Gentlemen and ladies, every meal is a choice between protecting your brain and blood vessels or putting them at risk. You can continue eating these 8 stroke-triggering fish and hope for the best, or you can make simple changes that could add decades to your life. The choice is yours, but now you have the knowledge to choose wisely. If this video opened your eyes to hidden stroke triggers, please share it with everyone you care about. These simple changes could literally save someone's life. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because next week I'm revealing the 5-minute morning ritual that can reduce stroke risk by up to 60% in people over 60. Remember, it's never too late to make better choices. You deserve meals that nourish and protect, not harm. Until next time, this is Dr. James Whitaker reminding you that your health is in your hands. Choose wisely, and your future self will thank you.